Okay, so homeroom, everyone does listen, please. So
Okay, Chromebooks away. No Chromebooks, no phones. We do have presentations for your class selection.
No, we're listening.
Oh, what is that?
This is our homeroom lesson
put
for
your
today.
phones away
See what
and turn your attention up.
Already, what is
lessons
it?
we do.
Work on stuff too while you're watching.
Right, so what we get to with to the rest of this next
Okay, phones away once they get started. Once they get started. Okay.
Of course.
And yeah, I'm encourage students to see how bad my prep is for Friday's lesson. Because those are cheap charge. Oh.
All right. Should we get started, Nepo?
Yes.
I think we're gonna start soon. Oh boy, I hope I'm muted. Good Lord. Yeah. Oh no, I'm not muted.
Ms. Dills, you're not muted.
Sorry.
I hope that's automatic. Mute everybody.
All right. Oh, I hear people still coming in. Okay. Are we good now, Nepo? Oh, you're on mute.
Sorry, I've been talking this whole time. We are ready to roll.
Okay, perfect. All right. So good morning, everyone. I am Ms. Verdine. I am one of the school counselors here at Balboa High School. I work with last names LIB through R. So today we're going to be talking about your course selection. So as many as you know, and probably you were, last year was your first year with us, so it was all virtual. But every year we counselors meet with students to kind of talk about your academic plan, your and what classes you want to take for next year. So today we're just going to kind of be presenting on that to prepare you all for what's to come in the following weeks. Especially as rising 11th graders, you have a lot of big decisions to make. So if you have questions, think about them, put them in the chat, and then we'll try to answer them at the end of the presentation. So beginning Monday, February 14th, we're going to begin with the course selection process, which means that you will each have a one-on-one appointment with your counselor. This will go on until March 25th. The order of the appointments will be we're going to start off with our 11th grade students who will be seniors, and then we'll work our way to the lower grades. So for example, for you all, you will go right after our 11th graders. If for whatever reason, when you get your appointment, you realize you can't make it, or you just forget, just know that we will have makeup dates, but those makeup dates won't happen till later on, just as an FYI. And the biggest thing that I want to point out is that you need to check your SFUSD email, because that's where all this information is going to be shared with you and with your parents. So by the end of today, you'll be receiving an email that will include the Google form. So the Google form is the form that you will be using to select classes for next year. Along with that email, you also have the course catalog, which is really important. And I want to stress that you check that course catalog to kind of see like descriptions of the classes, so that you, when you're meeting with us and when you're filling out the Google form, you know what the class is, and it just helps make the decision process easier. And of course, just in case, we'll also include the course selection sheet, which is just similar to the Google form, but just I guess for those of you that want to visualize it a little bit better, you can use that. But we want to encourage you to fill out the Google form. That will be sent today. And then on Friday, you'll need to check your email again, because that's when you'll receive your one-on-one appointment. And what that email will include will be the date and the time that you will be meeting with your counselor. So on that day and that time, you'll just check in with your teacher, let them know you have the appointment, and then you will be good to go. Is there a question? No? Okay. Perfect. So the form that you must complete before your meeting is going to look something like this. So there'll be a couple of questions that you need to answer, and they'll walk you through the process of selecting your classes. So again, this form will be sent in your email today, and then you must complete it before your appointment. So if your appointment is a week from now, just make sure that you have it done before like that Monday or something. And this is the course catalog. So this will also be sent in the email today. And as you can see, it'll show, it'll list all the classes that are available. And if you click on the title, it should be able to take you to like a Google slide or some sort of something that would provide you more information and detail regarding the class. And so this is the most important thing, and I'm going to be walking with you through this course selection sheet right now. All right. So for many of you, or all of you actually, you're going to be going into your 11th grade, which means that you will now get to select a pathway for your 11th grade year. So pathways you'll receive an email for your pathway selection in the coming days. So I believe Mr. Whelan will send you an email on Monday. So that's another email you'll need to check. It's going to include the form that you'll fill out to basically say like what you're interested in. This week during lunchtime, I believe every day a different pathway has been out in the quad, just talking about the pathway. So if you haven't done so, make sure that you check that out so that you can hear from others about their experience in the pathway, and just get a better idea of what they are. So again, that email will come to you on Monday. Another important thing to note is that when you check in with your counselors, at that moment, you won't be selecting your pathway. At that moment, we'll just be talking about the rest of your courses. Pathway decisions will be made at a later time. So just know we will not select your pathway with you. And so as an 11th grader, more opportunities open up. So your 9th and 10th grade year, a lot of your classes were already taken up. but this is the year that you'll get a little bit more freedom to choose electives for yourself. Classes that are still required are US history. So all 11th grade students will be in US history and American literature. And these classes will also align with your pathway elective. So you'll have US history, English, and then you have to select a math. There's 3 years required of math. We're recommending 4. For you, that means that depending on what math level you're currently taking, you could either do algebra 2, compression, pre-calculus, probabilities and statistics, AP stats, or AP calculus. If you're coming from geometry, your 2 options will be algebra 2 or compression. If you are already taking algebra 2, you can do pre-calculus, prob and stats, AP stats. If you're taking compression, then that opens up AP calculus along with probability and statistics and AP statistics. So again, like if this is a little bit confusing, just make sure that you check in with your counselor. They'll be able to guide you into the right math class. So when you enter your 11th grade year, you're technically not required to take a science if you've already met the 2-year requirement for science, which means that you've taken you've taken physics and biology. However, the universities do recommend 3 years. So especially if you're interested in taking or majoring in science or going into the medical field, we do recommend that you consider a 3rd year of science. And there will be multiple options. Something that I want to know is that for students who are in WAC, you don't have to worry about picking astronomy or environmental science because these will be your pathway electives throughout the next 2 years. And of course, you'll have your pathway elective that will vary depending on which pathway you choose. Physical education is no longer a requirement. However, if you're really interested in taking swimming and you have space in your schedule, you can do that. Same with JROTC, but it's no longer a requirement. And now we're going into world language. So for those of you who have already started world language, you would just continue on to the next level. Some of you may already be finishing your world language, but then there's some of you that maybe have not started your world language. Junior year is the year that you need to start because every student is required to take 2 years. 3 years are recommended by universities. So if you're interested, you can also continue with the world language for more than the 2 years that you've already taken. And of course, another requirement that we have is the visual performing arts requirement. So if you have not satisfied this yet, some of you may have done it in 9th grade, but if you haven't, you either have to take it your junior year or your last chance will be your senior year. But this is also a required class in order to be able to graduate. So just things to consider is just definitely looking at the VAPAs. If you've already satisfied your visual performing arts requirement, you're still more than welcome to take these classes. So don't think that just because you already did art that you can't take it no more. And then lastly, because as I mentioned, you will have more space to take elective courses. Some of the courses that you can consider are also listed here. So you could take, like, for example, AP Psychology, Ethnic Studies, Asian American History. There's different electives that are going to be available to you. And then as long as you have 6 classes, that's what's going to consist of your schedule. Another thing that I want to know is that for AP courses, you will need to check in with the teachers, and all of that information will be provided to you in your email. So if you're interested in taking AP Bio, make sure that you check in with the AP Bio teacher. And we always want to stress that, once you sign up for an AP class, we really want to encourage and motivate you to stay in that class. So just make sure that, if you're feeling doubtful about it, let us know. And that way we can, support you to maybe going through the pros and cons of taking an AP class. And I believe that is it. Oh, yes. And just in case you may have forgotten, we just wanted to reshare with you your counselor information so that you know who your counselor is, and also their emails just in case you have questions. And any questions?
And teachers, feel free to also put it on the chat if you want.
Any questions? All right, great.
Great question, Ms. Adela. So appointments will start February 14th. Because you all are 11th grader, I want to guesstimate that maybe you'll start around like maybe in 2 weeks. So you won't go first. It will be the 12th graders or rising 12th graders and then you all. So you still have a little bit more time to think about your schedules. Yeah, so for pathways, that will be selected. So essentially what you'll do with your counselor is you'll choose 5 out of your 6 classes. So that means that the only class you won't be switching will be your elective course. And depending on where you're at with your credits and what your path has been thus far, that's when you'll get a chance to see what space you have for electives.
Another question, do seniors get priority over juniors for spots in classes?
For our most popular courses, that will be the case. Just because, you know, as 11th graders, you will get an opportunity come your senior year to take some of those classes. So I know AP Psychology is a class that gets filled pretty fast. Just know that if you don't get it this year, there's always an opportunity senior year. And there's also, psychology is also offered at City College. So if you're ever interested in taking a City College course, we can always help you sign up for that too.
Good question. Can we still talk to pathway teachers or students? I did not get a chance on Monday to Mr. Arzog.
Yeah, I think it's so great if like students check in with like pathways. I think Mr. Whelan also created a pamphlet that also has information on pathways. So if students want to stop by the quad during lunchtime, and maybe the pathway they're interested is not out tabling today, I believe Mr. Whelan is there and he can also answer questions.
Yes. And then the pathway that'll be in the quad today, I believe, is walk. And we'll make adequate announcements in the quad during that time.
All right. So when will emails be sent with all this information about appointments and the courses? So this is a great question, Maggie. 3 emails will be sent to you, to 10th graders, right? So the first email you'll receive will be today, and that will have the course selection sheet, the course catalog, and the Google form that you will need to fill out with listing the classes that you're interested in taking. So that's the first email that will go out today. On Friday, you'll receive an email with your one-on-one appointment. So that will tell you the time and the date that you'll be meeting with your counselor. And then on Monday, you'll be receiving an email from John Whelan with the information in the form for pathway selection. So in total, 3 emails in the next few days. So just make sure that you're consistently checking your email for those 3 emails.
I know lunch is going to kick off in about a minute. We got to get set up for the pathway fair, but we hope to see you guys in the quad. Walk is going to be over there in the pathway area. And thank you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to hit us up later on.
Thank
you so much, Ms. Verdeen. Thanks, everybody. Y'all have a great day. All right, bye.